This gets them thinking about the impact of racism right away, and also what does this impact have on our lives? Or maybe it'll get them thinking about perhaps there are other factors or perceptions that influence what may or may not be racially motivated. Okay, it's important to get into boundaries soon into the program. Here's an exercise you can do to help explain the concept of boundaries. I call it dare to cross. Have all the teenagers pair up. Get them in partners. If somebody lacks a partner, you as the leader, the facilitator of the group, go ahead and join them as their partner. Now tell the partners to stand facing each other, however, on opposite sides of the room. Tell one group to walk towards the other. Explain that the stationary partner may say stop whenever they feel that the partner walking towards them is too close. Now repeat this process with the other group walking towards their partners. The second part to this is ask for one of the pairs to volunteer. Help. Okay, so you can have partners, one partner to volunteer, everyone else in the group will observe. And we're going to repeat this activity. Now tell one partner to walk towards the other, just like before, except now tell them to smile and walk casually towards the other person, who will say stop when they feel the partner is too close. Watch carefully where that person stops. Then repeat this, but this time have that first person who was just smiling put an angry look on their face and walk quickly towards their partner. Again, make note of where that person is asked to stop. The point you need to make to the teenagers is that boundaries are something that is very individual and it can depend on a person's emotions. Usually people need a little bit less space if someone is approaching them and seems happy or in a good mood, but they are not willing to let an angry person come too close. After this exercise, point out that most of us like to have our own space and protect our own space. We want to know that others won't come into our own space if we don't want them to. Some people like to keep a lot of distance between themselves and other people. You see that sometimes when you're standing in line at the grocery store or at the MVA, you kind of keep a distance. Or at the post office, you never know. It's going to be different depending on where you are and what mood you're in, perhaps. small our space is, we do have limits on that space that help us feel safe. This is a boundary. So discussion questions you can ask with the kids. You can talk with them a little bit and ask such things as, do you think you need more or less space than most people? Why? How does it make you feel when people cross your personal boundaries? And do you think it's a good idea to have personal boundaries and to know what your personal boundaries are? The obvious answer is yes, but allow the teens the opportunity to discover why this is the case. In terms of cultural boundaries, based on my earlier definitions, there are a couple of really excellent exercises that you can do. Pass out pens or pencils and a one-page activity on the sheet. It would be called Dealing with a Question of Cultural Boundaries. And let them read that. The main question being asked is, how do you respond to a question or comment like this? A lot of black people are into crime and drugs, aren't they? Now, the two statements you want the kids to write about are, one, I think this question is motivated by what? They should go ahead and fill in the blanks. And two, my response to this question would be what? Again, let them fill in the blanks and write about it. Give them some time to complete these statements while in their own space. And then you can strategically place them in small groups and ask them to share their responses. Encourage the group members to give their own examples of ways that people might cross their cultural boundaries and ways of responding to them. And then discuss this exercise with the entire group. Bring everyone together. It is important that the teenagers know that there are several ways that they can respond to what might be an insensitive statement or a potentially racist remark. But they could probably choose from four main options. One, they could make a joke about it, and we see that often. Secondly, they could avoid the question, don't answer it, totally blow it off and change the subject. Third, they could answer the question, but tell the person that the question is on the verge of being racist or is perhaps a stereotype. Teenagers need to learn to educate other people by giving them correct information, but also learn to explain to others that the questions make them feel uncomfortable or angry or hurt or